Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sahara. So I've already done my brows off camera and I thought why not put these barrettes in. So I'm going to be starting off with my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Creamy Beige and apply that as primer for my eyeshadow and to clean up the brow bone as well. And then I'm going to blend it out with a brush first to make sure to spread the product evenly. Then I'm going to go back in with a sponge, a damp Japanese sponge, to pick up any excess product. Now I'm going to go into the Profusion Sienna's palette and use that matte shade called Devoted and apply that into the crease using tapping motions so I can get the most pigment out of this shade. This is that rosy tone type of shade. I'm going to go into the Oakland Matte and Metal eyeshadow palette and use that matte shade called Silk to diffuse this eyeshadow a little bit. I don't want it to be as dark as it was in the crease, so I'm using swiping and buffing motions to blend this out. For the outer and inner parts of the lid, I'm going to go back into the Profusion Sienna's palette and use that matte shade called Madly and just using tapping motions to apply that. This is going to help create that halo eye, so I'm just applying it in those areas and leaving the center blank because I am going to go back in with some concealer just to clean it up even more. But then I'm going to go off camera and blend this into the crease a little bit so it's not as harsh, but I don't know why I didn't get it on camera. I thought I was filming, but sometimes it's not recording when you think it is. So I'm using whatever concealer's left on the brush from when I prime my eyelids, and I'm just going to apply it on the center of the eye, and then in the crease part I'm going to apply like a line because I am going to do like a glitter crease liner. For this part, I'm just using my fingers to pick up any excess concealer since I can't go in with a brush or a sponge to do so. Now I'm going to go back into that Sienna's palette and use that duochrome shimmery shade called Dizzy and apply that on the lid in the center and a little bit on that crease part, that line that I made in the crease. I'm going to go into the Bad Habit Cult Mystere palette and use that pink duochrome baked eyeshadow called Sakura Blossom and apply that on the center of the lid on top of that other shade. I wanted it to be a little bit more pink and the other shade was showing up a little bit more champagne tone, like champagne-y. So now I'm going to go back in with that shade Madly and just apply a little bit more on the outer and inner parts of the lid just to blend this in. I'm going to go in with the Marc Jacobs glitter highliner in the shade Glam Jam and apply that directly on the waterline. It's a very, very beautiful eyeliner and this does not budge through the day at all. It has great staying power. I'm going to use the e.l.f. liquid eyeshadow in the shade Brushed Copper and I'm going to apply this in the crease with a thin liner brush. Like I said, I wanted it to be like a glitter liner in the crease. So I am using this shade and it does smudge, so you have to make sure to set it, which I didn't set it at first so it was making a mess, but off camera I did use an eyeshadow, like just a light gold silver type of eyeshadow to set it, and it worked. Now I'm going to go in with the Black Radiance Luminous Dry Oil Moisturizer and I'm going to apply that on the face to prime / moisturize. For foundation, I'm going to use the Black Opal True Color Stick Foundation in a shade Heavenly Honey. And that little bit that I have popped out of the top of the foundation stick, that's all I have left. So I'm trying to use it up as much as I can so it doesn't expire and then I have to throw it away and waste it, but it's such a good foundation, especially at the drugstore for $10. It has excellent coverage and it's not a bad shade match like I first thought it was, so I'm just blending this out with a brush. And it's very, very creamy. I think I say this in all my videos since I've been using it again. For concealer, I'm going to use the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Medium Dark 32 first. And then on top, to brighten it, I'm going to use the Too Faced Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Natural Beige. And then I'm blending those out with a damp sponge, the same Japanese sponge I used earlier. To set only the center of the face, I'm going to use the Kat Von D translucent powder, and I'm only using this in the center because I don't want it to lighten my foundation and also leave flashback. To set the rest of the face, I'm going to use the Black Radiance True Complexion Loose Setting Powder in the shade Banana, and this is the perfect setting powder for the rest of the face for me because it has more of a yellow undertone and it does oxidize a little bit, so I rather darken my foundation than it look too light and ghostly. To bronze / contour, I'm going to use the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer in the shade Medium / Deep. I have been saying it wrong this whole time. I've been calling it the Dark Chocolate Soleil. It's just the Chocolate Soleil, and that's what I'm going to use. And it smells so good. It smells like chocolates. If you've ever smelled the Too Faced products, they smell so good. Now I'm going to use the Kat Von D Brightening Powder in Golden to brighten the certain areas on my face and to also clean up this bronzer because I did make a mess of it and got in areas I shouldn't have. After letting it bake for like 2 minutes, like approximately 2 minutes, I'm gonna dust it away. I don't like to let these powders bake on my skin because I have mostly dry skin except my oily nose, so it ends up looking so dry and making me look 10 times older. Now I'm gonna go into the Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio and it used the shade Nectarine, and this bronzer trio is called Peachy Love, by the way. And I'm bringing my bronzer all the way in because I love that look, of course. I was thinking about trying the freckles trend that everybody has been doing because I feel like that would be cute, but no, I'm not gonna do it. So now I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Hydrating Coconut Mist. It has such a beautiful fine mist. I was like, why not show it in this part and be aesthetically pleasing as possible? I'm going to use the Wet n Wild highlighter in the shade Precious Petals, and I love using this highlighter now because it looks so wet on the skin. It doesn't look powdery. When I first bought this powder, not the powder, the highlighter, I could not get it to look pigmented on the skin at all, but it's one of those highlighters that you have to use couple of times before you can actually you have to get rid of the first layer practically. So I'm also going to highlight the brow bone and the inner corners of the eyes as well. To finish off the lower lash line, I'm going to go into the Sienna's palette again and use that shade Devoted and just run it across the lower lash line, blending it out. I'm also going to use that shade Madly again and just tap it on the outer lid in the lower lash line just to darken those areas. And then I'm going to go back into that Glam Jam eyeliner by Marc Jacobs and just run it across the lash line. Instead of using like a liquid liner, I just wanted to use this instead. So I went off camera and applied these Cara lashes in the style Wisp. Now I'm gonna apply these 4 lip products, these 2 lip liners by Black Radiance and the 2 liquid lipsticks by Anastasia Beverly Hills to achieve the perfect nude rosy lip. I know that's a lot of product I'm applying on my lips. You don't have to do all of this like I'm doing, but I wanted to. I don't know the name of these lip pencils by Black Radiance because they rubbed off, but they have like 4 of these, so it's easy just to look on their site and see the name. For the Anastasia lipsticks, I'm going to use the shade Dazed first, and then I'm going to apply Hudson on top to lighten it. This is going to give me like the perfect lip tone color. So I hope you guys enjoy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!